listening to Frank Skinner's podcast from Absolute Radio.
This is Frank Skinner on Absolute Radio with Emily Dean and Alan Cockerel. You can text the show on 81215. You can follow the show on Twitter at Frank on the Radio. The way sometimes one sees civilians following a carnival.
Oh, yeah.
So you get lots of people in costumes and sort of pseudo-military uniforms. Then there's just some people.
Yeah.
I never worked out how long they latch on, those people. If you've ever followed a carnival, give us an estimated distance on 81215. Or you can email the show via the Absolute Radio website.
Well, Frank, you say that, but you and David Baddiel once followed on foot a pageant, a parade, for the Loch Ness premiere in 1996.
That is true.
20 years. Never forget.
That was the celebrity. Yeah, exactly. Lest we forget.
And it was you, David, and I believe Nicky Clark was there, Frank.
Nicky Clark was there, Annika Rice, Koo Stark, Ted Danson.
Ted Danson, though. That is a big name drop to leave at the end. Ted Danson.
And Jolie Richardson.
Right.
I appreciate I return to this often, but I'm quite obsessed by it. Did the other people, the spectators, was there a rope in between you and them?
Well, I think there was those metal barriers that they put down the side of the road, but David Baddiel thinks that there was. I mean, in case, just for new readers, we went up to the, David Baddiel and I, we were offered a private jet flight with a group of celebrities. This is years ago. I mean, obviously we don't get those kind of offers anymore. We'd be lucky to get a tandem. But anyway, one of the things I remember about it is that the man who picked us up in the car was a bit... people used to, when I lived with David Baddiel, people used to really struggle with his surname. Because obviously a lot of minicab drivers, I don't think it's controversial to say that a lot of them are from overseas. So, and anyway, so the buzz went on, and Dave had been saying, I don't know, with private jets, you never know if they're properly looked after and that, like the public thing, getting very anxious about the whole thing. And he'd had a dream or something about a plane difficulty. So anyway, and I'm honestly, I swear to you, this is true. We always used to get these blokes come to the door, and I'm going to do a generic foreign voice, but it's from no specific nation, so I think I get through one of the holes in the net.
Yeah.
And they'd say, Mr. Baddiel, and stuff like that. Mr. Biddle. You get all these names coming over the little intercom by the door. Anyway, this bloke on this morning said, Mr. Buddy Holly. And we just thought, that's it. We're going down. But we didn't. So we got to Inverness, and having met the mayor of Inverness, he said, OK, it's time for the celebrity parade. And we were marched through the town to the applause and tiny little bit of derision of the locals who lined the pavements. And this week, actually, I was back in Loch Ness.
No.
Yes. Did you know that?
Oh!
Yes, I was filming.
What made you return? Is this the first time since the 20th anniversary of the Celebrity Parade?
It is. I mean, the very first time I went to Inverness, I picked raspberries for 6 weeks at Lentron Fruit Farm and camped. But as you may guess, this was pre-celebrity.
So why did you go back to Loch Ness?
Well, I was filming at Castle Urquhart, if you really want to know. I do an art show on Sky, and we go to lovely places so that people can paint it. Anyway, so it was, I had quite a lovely old time, and I tell you what did happen, and this is very much a sign of my advancing years. A woman, I'd say she was 25, 26, called me Sir.
Nice.
That's lovely.
Yeah, but I mean, not an official person who calls people Sir, just I took someone's photo. You know when they said, can you take our photo? And I took their photo, and she said, oh, thank you, sir. Oh, I felt 100.
Oh, what? Hang on a second. They handed over the camera and said, can you take our photo?
Yeah. Well, they were Americans, so they didn't...
Oh, well, Americans, they say sir for everyone, don't they?
Do they? Don't spoil it, don't rip it down.
Sorry, I wasn't.
But,
you were on horseback in a full knight's costume, though, weren't you?
Oh, yeah, I forgot that, yeah. She asked if she could borrow my charger. No, but, when you're at Loch Ness, I don't know if other people do this, you do every now and again have a bit of a peer. Have a look around, just to see if you can spot. You know, one of the sort of, you know, when you see that Loch Ness Monster portrayed, it has like a hump coming out the water and then a bit underneath, and then it comes up again. Do you know that sort of strange?
Yeah.
I don't know what that's about. I've known no other creature that actually is like. It's like when it becomes threatening in any way, it pretends to be an aqueduct. Is the suggestion?
Well, they've spotted 2 new ones recently, only this week.
2 new Nessies.
2 baby Nessies.
Oh, let's come back to this, because that's tremendous.
We don't do a lot of breaking news on this show.
We don't. We don't.
1842 news we do.
Latest Loch Ness news, so that's looking forward to this. This, can I tell you, readers, I had no idea this was coming at all. I'm a little bit on the edge of my seat.
Absolute Radio.
Frank Skinner on Absolute Radio.
So, we had some Loch Ness Monster news just in on the Loch Ness correspondent. Well, I just saw something this week, and it says that the Loch Ness Monster may have had twins. I mean, I don't know how long the pregnancy's been.
No, that would account for that humpy thing, innit?
Yes.
The spaghetti neck.
Cyclist.
The hump.
No, it's not so much a hump, is it? It sort of undulates.
Yes, exactly.
It goes up out the water and then into the water and then it comes. It's hard to talk about it without doing it with your finger.
It's a bit My Lovely Lady humps, yeah.
I've always thought it must have a terrible tan line, the Loch Ness Monster.
Yeah.
Anyway, carry on.
So this cyclist, I mean, they called him a cyclist like he was a professional cyclist. He wasn't. He was a man on a bike.
Yeah.
56 years old, apparently. He said he saw it, so he's taken a photo.
And that's this week?
Yeah.
Is there a photo as well?
There is he said he is not a man given to flights of fancy.
Love it.
No.
But he's convinced that what he saw was the 2 Loch Ness monsters, the 2 baby Nessies.
Wow,
and
really?
I take his word more seriously because he said that he's not a man given to flights of fancy.
Well, I think that's cleared the decks for honesty.
Absolutely love that.
Yeah.
In fact, if everybody that ever wants to lie to me in the future just says I'm not a person given to flights of fancy, I think I'll be really gullible from there on in.
I'm excited about this because it's...
Yeah. I mean, you were there, Frank, when this happened.
Was I? When did it happen?
This week. Weren't you there this week?
I was there on Wednesday. I mean,
there you go.
I think of the Loch Ness Monster nowadays as a bit of a...
Whatever happens?
It used to be in the news a lot, didn't it? And then a bit like the Bermuda Triangle. They go out...
Yes, a bit, and celebrity horses. Where are they now?
What's celebrity? Celebrity horses. Yeah.
Horses as celebrities.
Yeah, famous horses.
Yeah. Red Rum, Alden Eaty.
But the mystery things, the Bermudas and your Loch Ness, I'd like to know on 8, 12, 15, what is the currently trending mystery?
Good one.
Because when I bring up the Bermuda Triangle, now people aren't interested. And
that's one of your go-tos, isn't it?
Yeah.
That and the hovercraft, if I'm not mistaken.
That's it, yeah.
Yes, it's
the
very
development of the hovercraft. Those are my 2 conversation starters.
Both make me think of 1974.
Well, that's when I started using them. And you grow attached to a conversation starter. No, I would love to know what people talk about. Now, because at school we used to talk about... There was 2 books that everyone read, and that was... Chariot of the Gods, which was about spacemen coming down and building the pyramids and stuff like that, which I think was Eric von Daniken. Oh, I don't know if you've ever seen Eric von Daniken. He was classic, full black leather, monocle, whip he used to carry. But also, there was one, it was called Fire from Heaven, and it was about spontaneous human combustion, and the fact that sometimes people just burn into flames and incinerate for no apparent reason.
You see, we had the Osborne Book of Ghosts.
Oh, right, okay.
In my era, that was the book everyone, and it was a bit kept under the bed. It was the spooky book that no one spoke of. I loved it, though. What about you?
We can't talk about childhood books for very long before I admit that I read all the Judy Blume, can we?
Yeah, but they're not of the...
I know they're not.
And you certainly kept those under the bed.
We're not of that genre.
No.
Not of that genre. Well, I'd love to know what are the... if there's any young people listening, what are the trending mysteries that have replaced the Loch Ness Monster and the Bermuda Triangle?
Absolute Radio.
Frank Skinner on Absolute Radio.
Sorry, I was just reading an old diary. Have we had any responses to the new mysteries?
Yeah, we've had a few, actually.
Trending mysteries, I'm after.
That's right. Rob, 471, has said the flat earth theory is currently big on the interwebs, but we're more going for school playground, aren't we?
Yeah. No, I don't care.
You happy with that?
Well, I mean, you've got to be careful with the internet, obviously, because there's some strange people on there.
There are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Flat Earth can't possibly be a serious thing. That
would be breaking
ironic,
news.
postmodern, hipster affectation.
Oh, yes, that'll be someone with a coffee shop in Shoreditch with a
Somebody
beard.
with little short trousers.
And no socks.
No short trousers and
they
no
don't
socks
like...
these
The
days, isn't
hipster
there?
doesn't like a sock. They fear the sock.
You
Yeah.
know what this means? That in a couple of years it'll be socks and flares. Like, it'll come back. It all just moves in circles. You know that. You work in fashion.
I do. Thank you.
I just see it now and I think the next
and it's
thing
very
will be the
timely.
opposite.
The shows are coming up. Thank you for the reminder. You know, they call that the hipster injury.
What's
the
that?
blister on the back of the ankle now.
From no sock.
Yeah.
Oh, and a brogue.
A friend of mine got married recently, and the groom was... I saw the picture, wasn't invited to the wedding, but that's okay, you know.
Oh, dear.
Moving.
But
I'm surprised you're even giving them any space.
But I was looking at the picture.
Yeah.
I am turning into you, essentially, and this is a major problem, because I have a lot of friends.
Yeah.
But I noticed, Frank, the groom had no socks. And I said, isn't that funny? That's going to really date that picture, isn't it?
Yeah, but I mean, they do date, don't they, those wedding things. But, no, yeah, that'll look back and the no socks thing. And
I'd like to see the comment as the tax you pay for not inviting me.
But what about the people who work in the sock industry? Is there no thought given to them?
Yeah, what about those poor souls?
These people who don't wear socks, the hipsters, will go on about austerity Britain and don't realise they're tearing down a long time industry.
Yeah. Get back to your cereal cafe.
Yeah.
054 has texted...
I love my hose.
Pardon?
I always wear stockings and socks of all kinds.
Thank goodness. I thought you'd change the tone of the whole show.
Not me.
054 has texted the mysterious Death Valley sailing stones. Do you know what they are?
No, I'm sure we play them on Absolute, though.
All right, yeah, maybe it's a song request.
Alley sailing stones.
The mysterious Death Valley sailing stones.
Frank, they sound like an Absolute Radio band.
We'll have to investigate that one. If it's up there with the Bermuda Tea.
Frank, have we got time before we play a song by the mysterious Death Valley Sailing Stones? 273. Good morning, Frank and the team. As a teacher in a secondary school... Oh, hello, sir. Can I suggest that the current conspiracy of choice is definitely the Illuminati and their near unlimited influence in the world? They're spelt T-H-E-I-R, by the way.
Are the Illuminati... Have I got the right one? Are they underground lizards?
Yes, they're connected to the David Icke people. The people that he...
So the kids in school now are into...
It's become a huge thing now.
Into the underground lizards thing.
It's not... Well, it's all world leaders, isn't it? Or Illuminati, the royals...
Yeah, but aren't they originally underground lizards?
Yeah, originally,
I think the Queen...
Yeah.
It's all based on the Queen. I just had a bit of cake on the chin, the tongue darted out and took it back in. And the theory kicked off from there that there might be... she might have something of the...
So these things
of the reptile about her.
We've had a
and it's got ER as well. Someone says that RE being the first two letters of reptile. All the clues are there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Frank, in other news...
The long gloves to hide the talons.
How dare you? I'm going to have surgery on that. We've had a first ever request in, well, maybe not first ever, but for an anecdote from you.
An anecdote?
Yeah, we're having anecdote requests now.
I'm not sure about that. Is there a specific...
Yeah, Frank, could you please recount the remark made by the local to Nicky Clark during your celebrity parade again as it made me chortle? That is 858.
Well, I could do that. I think we need music first, but I think I just did this a couple of weeks ago. You see, shows people don't listen. But okay, I'll do it. Anecdote requests. That's what I should do. I'd do a comedy show.
Yeah.
I'd just stand there and let them call it anecdote requests.
Yeah.
They should do the dinner parties. I suppose they do. People
Well,
say,
they sort of do.
Steve, tell that story about...
Yeah.
Yeah. And apparently, I don't know how this works, if it's a luncheon vouchers thing, but if you get a really good anecdote, I've been told you can dine out on it.
That's what I've heard.
How does that work?
Frank
Skinner.
on Absolute Radio.
Absolute Radio.
You know, you've unlocked Pandora's box here by seeming to encourage anecdote requests.
Well, I don't think I encouraged. I agreed to do one. The Nicky Clark, when I was in Inverness, and we did the celebrity parade, I was Nicky Clark, the celebrity hairdresser, was with us, and this guy, as I remember, he was half up a lamppost, but David Baddiel said he was just on the pavement. But he had like a number one crop, as we used to call it, very short skinhead.
It was a bit
crop.
Skinhead Escapes.
Yeah. He used to say number one crop for, normal life, number two for court appearances. Get the judge on your side. But anyway, this bloke pointed to it and said, "Hey, Nicky, can you do anything with this?" And it got quite a big laugh. And we were at Skibo Castle that night having dinner.
Lovely.
And somebody, I think Dave said to Nicky Clark, that was funny when that bloke shouted, "Hey, Nicky, can you do anything with this?" And Nicky's wife said, "Yes." And what did you say? "Nothing." To Nicky. I think they divorced not too long after that.
Oh, the contempt had crept in.
It's difficult, isn't it, relationships?
Well, we've had a couple of other requests for anecdotes that you do. 032 has requested a very funny story that I've seen you tell in stand-up, but I don't think it's for daytime radio.
Oh, no, I don't.
No, I know that.
Can you
Can I
even
say-
title it?
Well, it involves David Baddiel, and can I just say this is also David Gandy's favourite of all your anecdotes.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
I'm a bit worried about it. Anyway, let's...
Yeah.
I don't think we're going
Well,
to
don't
do
be
that one.
worried, you've just got a load of free pants from him.
That's true.
How are you getting on with them?
The pants are absolutely fabulous. I'm at the point now I'm wearing clean pants every day.
Are you feeling supported?
No, I was on I would do 2 days with a pair of pants. And now I've got the new shipment came in.
Shipment?
Yeah.
Pant drop.
Yeah.
Do they fit okay? Did I get the
lovely? They're lovely. The T-shirts, I'll be honest, are a bit
snug?
A bit snug. I think David probably doesn't have much concept of the middle-aged torso.
Right.
Yeah.
But the pants, they don't grip me, they caress.
Well, that's nice.
Yeah, I think...
For you.
I'll tell you this, I think if you allow for my age, I think I've probably got enough pants to last me for the rest of my life. I don't think I'll ever have to buy another pair. I'm the same up with pencils. It's good when you get to a point where you think there's enough now. I don't need to worry about it.
out.
Hang on, what fabric are these pants? You must think they're pretty durable.
I find pants last quite a long time.
Yes, but
I've got a long life predicted for you, Frank.
Well, it depends what your approach to pants is. Do you wear them until...
I tend to creep up on them and just hop over the label.
Do you wear them until the no more, no more please phase?
I wear them until the day that instead of going into the wash basket, they go into the bin next to it.
Oh.
Yeah, I'll wear them until they drop, so to speak.
As long as they don't go into the kitchen cupboard to be used as some sort of...
Oh, no, I wouldn't do that with pants.
Chamois leather.
That's right, chamois leather, then. Work more as a scourer. Text us on 81215. What have you got that'll last you for the rest of your life? This will be a novelty concept for the youngsters.
Oh, yeah.
Anything that you've got enough of that you think that's it, I'll never need to buy any more of these ever.
Oh, yeah.
Love to know.
This is
Frank Skinner, Absolute Radio.
Well, I'll tell you something,
thanks
Frank.
for that.
You earlier repeated an anecdote that you've told previously, didn't you? Because somebody said, could you retell it?
Yeah.
And we've had a text to 81215 saying, there goes the no repeat guarantee.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I was asked to
He
repeat it.
specifically
No, I liked
requested.
it. I liked it. I just thought that the text was funny, so I thought I'd share it.
Maybe they're not talking about that. Maybe they just belched as they were texting.
You've also asked what people have got enough of for the rest of their life.
Yeah.
Yes.
Which I didn't...
For me, it's pants and pencils.
Well,
okay.
I didn't think it was the beginning of a great texting, but the switchboard has lit up.
Lovely.
Breton tops for me.
I wish you'd trust me more.
I've got so many Breton tops.
They'll last you the rest of your life.
Entire life.
Fantastic.
746 has texted, surely in Frank's case, money is won as well as pencils and pants.
Oh, of course, money, I forgot that. Yeah.
And,
let me just add that to the money.
And,
yeah.
Amusing, I just bought a pint of milk that has a best before date of 19th of September. That should see me out. I'm 96 on Monday.
That's a joke. That isn't a real 96-year-old.
Oh, if it is. Can you take a picture of yourself?
Gregor.
No,
I'm sorry to
almost certainly not. But there'll be a great picture
96,
of the adjoining wall.
I want a photograph of you holding your birth certificate or passport. That will also be accepted.
It's got to be a joke.
Sorry to sound a bit ransom demand, but this is what I require.
Does a bit.
What about Nick in Suffolk? I have a family-size athlete's foot cream which will last forever.
Oh, brilliant. But how good to know that you can that your athlete's foot cream buying days are over.
Well, it's like the shampoo and conditioner. I'll never run out of conditioner because you never use as much. The shampoo goes.
I condition I'm biannual, I would say.
I'm sorry to hear that.
That's what I've heard.
Yeah, it's very fashionable nowadays. Yes, I'm about twice a year I condition. And,
really?
Yeah.
I do it every time.
Oh, no.
Oh.
No, you don't want to do that.
Oh.
No.
You don't want to do that?
You don't want to do that.
Thanks for the beauty advice here, guys.
No problem.
You can have too much conditioning.
You can.
Yeah, well, thank heavens I've got you two to advise me on these, these areas.
You see these Mr. Universe guys, you know, they've overdone it.
Overdone the conditioning.
Yes.
Yeah. Frank.
Do I tell you how to do your little stand-up shows?
I think you offer advice.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Okay, fair enough.
Frank, I will never need another mug, ever. My kitchen overfloweth with mugs, and yet if I go on holiday, I think, I'll just get this feature mug as a memento. It's a sickness, ...
Do you know, that's right. I'm going to take money off, because in 2008, I thought I'd got enough money to last the rest of my life, and then I got a phone call to say you've lost your entire life savings. So I think money is a bit...
can always go.
Whereas the mugs, who's going to come in and take all the mugs?
That's a good point. A very bad burglar.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, I've got in my mug cupboard. We are now stacking.
Oh, are you?
Oh, I'm on the stack as well.
I've got mugs on top of mugs.
And then some very hard decisions have to be made. I'm going to have a mug cull, I think.
Are you? Oh, no.
Well, it's getting out of hand.
The thing is that you can't take mugs to a charity shop, really, because I think people don't want to drink out of other people's mugs, generally speaking.
We do when we visit.
Yeah, you're right.
Sorry.
What a fool I've been. Oh,
987.
Oh, just give me a moment to get over that.
I'm sorry. Sorry.
This is
Frank Skinner, Absolute Radio.
987 has said, and this has got a slightly sour tone to it too, I used to have enough electric toothbrush heads to last me until I was 74, based on changing them every 3 months.
Brilliant maths.
But then my girlfriend moved in, one of the many ways my life has changed for the worse since her arrival. I think probably best we only read the last 3 numbers of that phone number, isn't it?
It sounds like partner to last him the rest of his life. Yeah. Not on the list.
not found that one yet.
Oh, wow. Oh, well done. I better add partner. They're all the P's: pants, pencils, partners. And then, of course, I'll just write that down. I won't say it out loud.
Oh, God.
Anyway, well, that's... it's marvellous. I do like a texting when it's an interesting... I had a radio show the other day, accidentally, obviously.
Yes.
And somebody said, can you text in songs with the word blue in the title?
Didn't.
I thought, I did one of those, in the House of Commons. Resign! I did one of those, as if they could hear me.
What do they do? Do they just read out the song names then?
Yeah, they said, oh, well, here's one. Won't you make my brown eyes blue? Blue Heaven here. Got one here. Blue Guitar. That was a great number. Didn't even play them or anything.
Blue suede shoes.
Me and you and a dog named Boo.
Sorry,
no.
I'm playing it now.
Blue Monday.
Me and you and... It was Boo. It wasn't Blue.
Oh, it was
Me
Blue.
and you and a dog named Blue. Somebody suggested. Boo, it was the dog. Couldn't even get that right.
Have you gone now? Is this what happened?
I'm just under this.
You in character?
No, this bloke was fine with it. Me and you and the dog named Blue. He says, yeah, that'll be good. You think, talk about mugs up on mugs.
They said Boo instead of Blue.
They said Blue was in the song.
You can't let that pass.
What?
If you tolerate this...
I know, then your children will be next.
Yeah.
Oh, baby.
Absolute Radio.
Frank Skinner on Absolute Radio.
This is Frank Skinner on Absolute Radio with Emily Dean and Alan Cockerel. You can text us on 8 12 15. Many have, many will. Someone is probably doing it as I speak. You can follow the show on Twitter at Frank on the Radio. You can email the show via the Absolute Radio website. All those options are yours. Enjoy.
And you're running a few, what I like to call eccentric text-ins. And
I like the idea of him running a few.
You've
like
got a few plates spinning.
Currently we've got what is the trending mystery. It used to be the Loch Ness.
That's right.
And
yes.
Loch Ness Monster, Bermuda Triangle.
We've had Illuminati.
What are you into? What are you into, Sonny?
Yeah.
And also, what have you got that will last you the rest of your life? For me, it's pants. We've worked out pencils and partner.
Well,
that was it.
445, Elliot from Wolverhampton has texted, my mum was given a microwave the year before I was born, which was 1988, and it's still going strong. At its current rate, I can see it outliving me and generations to come.
That's amazing.
That's because I thought they had what they used to call built-in obsolescence.
Oh,
your modern white goods.
I wonder if the ones now have, but in 1988 or 87...
Is a microwave classed as a white good?
I think it is.
True.
Actually, is white good? Can you have the singular?
Well, I don't know if I would,
white
because if
good.
I bought a house, I wouldn't expect the microwave to come with it. Do you understand what I mean?
I think ours did.
Did it?
Well, I did persuade them to leave the curtains.
Did you?
I'm not a person who goes in with the sledgehammer and knocks one morning. I said, you need that table.
Yeah.
Shame to take
Do you know, Frank, I've never owned a microwave.
Never?
No.
Shut up.
Well, my mother wasn't
What
a big fan.
do you do with your, how do you do your hot towels for makeup removal?
Oh, that'd be useful for that, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Pop them in the tumble dryer. No, I've never... I think I believe they're not very fashionable once again, but I think that window just never opened for me because my mother didn't trust
It's not a window, it's a door.
Yes, that's true.
See, you really don't know your way
I
around
don't.
one.
What about defrosting? How are you doing that quickly?
I just do
Plan
things
ahead.
au naturel.
Oh, yeah,
exactly.
plan ahead.
Plan ahead, put them out that morning.
Yeah,
That is a good system.
Wow, that's...
never owned one.
Hot
amazing.
water could be good for
Of
a bit
course
of
it
I just
defrosting.
I felt they were
Sans
maybe a
micro.
bit Kerry Katona, if I'm honest.
Did you? Okay,
Yeah.
I see. I don't know quite what you mean, but I think I have
Okay.
a sense of it.
Yeah.
I thought you might have been put off by the fact that if your desk is close to one, you go blind in one eye, if I remember.
Is that right?
That was how the stories went in the early days. Yeah, they emit. Do they emit a little bit?
I don't think so.
No, they probably don't, but they used to, or at least theoretically.
I think the worry was there, wasn't it?
I would love to know how to do a jacket potato properly When I do a jacket potato, you end up keep trying it in a microwave. You do like 5 minutes. When I put something in a microwave for 5 minutes, I think this must be too much. 5 minutes
What's
seems
the
like an
average
age.
time for the microwave? I'm going 3.
Usually I do like a minute and a half for things, but jacket
Yeah.
potato, for some reason the potato is a stop. It's like the old Luddites rebelling against the advance of farming machinery.
Yes.
It won't give in to the microwave.
And
So
there's-
you keep prodding it, it's still raw. And I end up, it gets quite wrinkly. It comes out looking like W.H. Auden, the jacket potato. And the base of it forms its own coaster on the bottom. So there's a
yes.
hard, sinuous
yeah.
base
It's a
that's been
platform.
against the plate.
I don't like
So
that.
so you've had to eat it off the base sort of thing.
Yeah.
The way you might chew a mango off its stone.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. I think the best
not
for
how
the
it's
jacket
supposed to
potato is the oven, but there is a...
I know, but
There's a compromise
I don't
available,
have
isn't
half
there?
a day.
Well,
There is a
actually, Al,
compromise.
I always understood the microwave was meant to be just, the finishing touch at the end.
Oh.
I didn't realise it was meant to... You could go from broke with the microwave, with the potato.
I'd go for the other way around. I'd go microwave first and then oven. I'd, get the outside a bit...
Well, what they used to do, they used to put... Do you remember
This is still on air, isn't it?
Yeah. They used to put a fork through the potato and then put it in the oven so the fork got hot and cooked the potato
lovely.
from the inside.
Absolutely.
I mean, if you put
ingenious
a fork in a microwave...
idea. Yeah, good luck with that.
The whole office would be blind in one eye, not just that bloke at the desk next to it.
Yeah.
It's my theory.
Absolute Radio.
Frank Skinner on Absolute Radio.
I'm afraid there's been some sad news this week.
Our thoughts with his family. Who is it?
Well, it's Hiddleswift.
The Hiddleston-Swift
Yes.
combo has gone. It
Taylor
was-
Swift and Tom Hiddleston. They were called Hiddleswift. So the portmanteau is over. Not just a relationship. That whole word
Yeah.
is obsolete now.
Yes,
People
it
should
is.
think about this.
Unless it can become a generic name for a short-lived, doomed...
Yes.
Always... They were talking about when will it split, the minute it started, really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
And it's
they have
now.
said since. I mean, obviously, there's his camp, there's her camp.
They're both
He-
camping. They're doing a lot of camping.
I wish I had
People
a
after
camp.
your own
I
heart.
don't have a camp. Should I have a camp?
Yeah, I'm in your camp, Frank.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but you don't make statements on my behalf.
I
do you?
would do.
It's been a long time since I was in a love story
In the
paper.
tabloids. Yeah,
I used to be, and I used to get that. I used to get people knock on my door and say, "Can we talk to you about your new girlfriend?" and stuff.
Oh, did they?
Oh no, that was the police. No, I used to get journalists knock on my door and say, "Can we talk about your new?" I mean, as a regular, when I was, sort of famous.
What about when Frank and I went out as friends, may I say? We've never been down Love Lane, have we, Frank?
No,
And
we haven't even hung around at that gate at the end.
no,
No.
ever sully what we have. But there was a picture of us in the paper. Do you remember that? And I think they mistakenly thought we were dating at the time. This was pre-Cath. And they said, they rang me and said, "Oh, can we get a quote from you?" And I said no, and someone made one up anyway.
And what was
they?
your quote? Can you remember?
Yes, I can. It was you'd recently been quoted as saying something about women over 30. I won't say the exact quote.
Oh yes.
Yeah, but it had been taken entirely out of context. It was a light-hearted remark that had been taken out of context. Nevertheless.
Yeah.
So they asked me my views on that. And apparently I said, well, I don't want to say anything. But no, they claimed that I'd said, "I've known Frank a long time, we've been friends, but I'm certainly very surprised by his comments."
Oh really?
Now, when have I ever been surprised, really, by any of his comments?
Shocked is a better word.
Yes. Well, but now, like I say, no one would care.
No.
Yeah, you're not Hiddleswift
No.
territory, are you?
If I dated Leslie Joseph, for example, I don't think they'd care. That one
I
jot.
think Kath might have something to say
Kath
about
obviously
it.
would be edgy about it. I think we'd have to talk, but I don't think the papers would be on my doorstep.
I'd like if Kath just had to accept that you were dating Leslie Joseph.
Yeah, I'll say, look, it's probably just a passing thing, according to my camp. Ask my camp about it. I don't talk about it direct.
If you did date Leslie Joseph, could we be your camp? Because I would enjoy that. I think it would be fun to
Yeah,
be
but what are
your
you going to
camp.
say? Don't be too hard.
I'm going to say stuff like, Frank says,
Yeah.
and then just...
Frank says you'd be surprised.
We'd be...
Dot. Just stuff like that.
Yeah.
Sort of slightly cryptic.
Frank
remark.
says when the fish follow the trawler, just start doing
Yes,
a bit
we'll
of
just come out with really strange things.
Yes.
We'll be a slightly weird camp, I think.
Yeah.
But they...
Frank says he's got enough pencils to last a lifetime. Deal
Yeah.
with it.
Frank said it's getting dark, but it's not quite midnight.
Frank
Skinner
on Absolute Radio.
Absolute Radio.
We were discussing jacket potatoes being microwaved earlier.
Don't worry, we're not going to go into this at length. Too late. Switch to
Might.
gone to cabbage.
455 has text. This is where I think the show just separates away from being entertainment and turns into a civic duty.
Lovely.
I think this is really useful info.
Yeah.
Dear Frank, for lovely jacket potatoes, 5 mins in microwave, then drizzle with olive oil and cracked pepper and salt, and finish in a hot oven for a few minutes to crisp the outside.
Yeah, but what are you calling a few minutes?
A few minutes. But I think it would need to be a hot oven, otherwise the few minutes won't have any impact.
5 minutes won't do it. I'll try it, but
Jill
I'll just be eating raw
continues.
potato. The least satisfying of the raw vegetables.
Raw potato.
Oh yeah, well you need to cook
Oh,
it,
I think
otherwise
it's
it can be poisonous.
Pretty much poisonous. I don't know, least
Is
satisfying.
it poisonous?
Yes.
Can I just say that Jill continues, make sure you've turned it over to avoid the hard bottom. That's what she says.
But I'll try
Look
it.
at the little cogs whirring. He's thinking,
I'm
shall
not-
I go there? No,
No, I'm not going to go.
No, I know.
I'm not going to go. It's a bit Noel Edmonds. Crinkly bottom and all that stuff. Come on, grow up.
Oh, idiotic eureka moment. I've just got that.
You just got crinkly bottom.
Have you?
Well, I didn't think it was very him to be going down those routes.
No, I suppose not.
Frank,
Yeah.
you know you were jokingly, we should say, referring to a relationship between you and Leslie Joseph.
Oh yeah, we're in Frank's
hope,
camp.
I hope crinkly bottom isn't the trigger for this.
Oh dear. Okay.
I did.
So Matt is suggesting.
I should tell you, I have previous, not of that nature,
What?
but I do. There is a place in my heart for Leslie Joseph.
Oh, is there?
Well, I'll tell you after this.
Okay. Well, Matt has said, what's the Skinner Joseph portmanteau? He's suggested Frankly,
Yeah.
or Joe Skin.
Joe Skin.
How
Okay.
do you feel about those?
Scosif.
Scosif, I like.
You like that, do you?
I love Scoseph.
Yeah.
So where does this affection spring from for Joseph?
Well, many years ago, I was at a showbiz do, and I was talking to Leslie Joseph. This is when she was a Birds of the Feather the first time round.
Yeah.
And
Great days.
we were talking to this other person who I won't name, and he said...
Celebrity, though.
Yeah.
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah, it was in an adjoining postcode.
Got it.
And he said, "Oh, can I get your phone number?" I said, "All right." And she said, "You must never ask a star for their phone number." And it was brilliant. It was a brilliant. It shot him down dead. But then she kindly left a gap in order for me to say, "Oh no, it's fine," which of course I didn't fill. But I love it when people know the rules.
Oh.
Yes.
It was great. And also, of course,
I respect the honesty.
I savoured the word star for many
Oh,
days.
yeah.
But I love that. She was, she came to my aid, as it were.
That's nice, isn't
Yes.
it?
Good
Nice.
old Leslie Joseph. And,
I want
funnily
to hurry
enough,
up and get to the break so I can find out who it was.
I worry about you
I don't think
dating
it'll
her.
ring any bells,
Okay.
to be honest. And that wasn't a pun suggesting it was the town crier who announces the royal baby births. It wasn't him.
Okay,
No.
good.
But yeah, and they, I was watching the Strictly launch. I'll have to come to this because we have to play some music.
Oh, and we've got a new mystery of today, which I like.
Oh,
Shall
God,
I put that on
things are
hold?
built- Just put the whole damn thing. We've
I'll put it on 30 seconds in the microwave.
we were talking about Swift. What's her first name?
Taylor.
Yes.
Do you know what, Frank?
Sorry, but that's not her first name.
We've got multiple tabs open at the moment.
We've gone a bit. I can't keep up with it.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm a tab juggler, don't worry.
Are you? Worth seeing.
This is
Frank Skinner, Absolute Radio.
Boys, we have a lot of tabs open currently on
do.
this show, content-wise, but can I just focus on one tab at the moment?
Sure.
Which is from 895. Hi, Frank and the guys. I would have said that the current mystery of today, we've obviously been talking about Nessie and various other things, is the sighting of various large black cats around the country.
Oh, there is.
Rob from
that.
Southampton. I like that, Rob. That's
That is
right.
good.
Yeah. It's
one a
not
week.
up there, though, with Bermuda Triangle and Loch Ness Monster, is it? I don't think there
but
is
it's
a
what
modern...
they've got, the youth of today. That's what they've got. They're making best of it.
I tell you what, because of the...
Making best of
I
it.
think they like conspiracy theories more than mysteries.
Yes.
You know what I mean? The Illuminati's not really a mystery, is it? It's a conspiracy theory.
No.
Yeah, remember when we mentioned chemtrails on the show?
What about-
the switchboard lit up.
Yeah. What
Oh,
about...
they love a chemtrail.
What's it called? Sasquatch. Bigfoot. Is that
Oh, yeah,
Bigfoot?
Sasquatch,
Yes.
yeah.
I think that's Bigfoot's real name, Bigfoot being his stage name.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Well, one of our readers, I believe it's Clive, who's one of my regulars, he suggested this morning that the reason that we don't have these Bermuda Triangles and such like is because of the smartphone. He says there are no more mysteries because the advent of HD cameras in everyone's pocket has destroyed UFOs and ghosts.
Yeah,
We're a
that's
very
maybe a good point.
Evidence-heavy society now.
Yeah, no,
Thank you.
What's that thing that's on the internet? No picture, no story or something?
Photos where it didn't happen.
Yeah,
Oh, is that what they reckon?
very similar. I just praise-seed it. I can't remember what was I talking about?
We're going to close
Well-
that tab now, Emily.
Yeah, that tab is closed. Thank
Okay,
you.
let's just rest that,
time.
and then we'll go
I
back to
love
the
closing
tail of
it.
the
It's a little paperclip character. He's waving goodbye.
I haven't seen him for ages. Is he still on there?
No, he's sadly he's no longer with us. But the
No.
thoughts are with his family.
I
The
bought-
stapler.
I bought. Yeah. And isn't he related to the Bulldog clip?
Yeah. No, he's
Thank
also
you.
passed away.
Yes, I knew the Bulldog clip had gone.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's a shame.
Yeah.
But Taylor Swift and Tom, I always want to say Tom Huddleston, who's a footballer that played for Hull for a period of time.
Oh, nominative determinism?
Yeah, but Huddleston, Hull, yeah, I suppose.
What kind of?
Nearly.
It would have been better if Rod Hull had played for him.
That would have been.
That would have
Well,
worked a
for
lot
so
better.
many reasons.
Are you allowed to play with an artificial bird on your arm? What's the FA rules on
I
that?
suspect that, yeah, they've probably got quite
I think
strict
they should introduce
uniform
that
rules.
instead of penalties.
The
That you have
problem
to
was-
do 20 minutes with an artificial bird on your arm.
If Rod Hull had ghosted in at the far post and Emu had headed home,
Yeah.
is that a header or is it handball?
Definitely handball. Sorry to burst the bubble for many
Okay,
people.
God, he's saying no a lot this morning. It'd be terrible in an improv group.
Yeah. And the beak would burst the football, surely.
No, it's a header.
No,
The
but
beak's
if
not
it's
strong
emu,
enough. The balls are...
Emu's header,
No, but Emu's got the beak and then he's got a forehead and
you think
stuff.
he'd be a good header of the ball rather than just face it?
I think he'd make a decent fist of it.
Is this
Very
what
good.
it's like
Very
in a
good.
Birmingham pub at 11 at night?
It is. That's it. Would it be handball if Emu scored at the far post? If Rod Hull played for
Yes. We've all had enough now. Come on, gents.
So, Tom
Hull?
apparently...
Oh, sorry, I was
sorry.
just going to press the button there. Oh, dear,
All right, Donald Trump.
That was a terrible moment. You know when you put the phone down, and just as you put the phone down, you hear, yeah, and you think, oh, I've got to call them back now. Oh. Maybe they'll call me back. Maybe it was nothing. Maybe they'd just fallen. No, they thought the lift was there. It wasn't. They just stepped into the empty shaft.
This is
Frank Skinner, Absolute Radio.
We've just had a bit of a exciting revelation.
I can't believe it. I'm
Yeah.
in shock, Frank.
Charlie, our producer, it turns out, was in an advert for Aladdin, the movie.
On VHS, which
Yeah.
is the best bit.
Yeah. Wow, she doesn't look old enough to have done anything on VHS.
No, she really doesn't.
But that's... I'm going to see Aladdin this afternoon, so we were just talking about it. And we were all saying, Emily says I used to listen to the soundtrack in the car and all that stuff. And we all thought, look at us with our Aladdin stories.
Yeah.
And then,
Boom.
wow, knocked it out
I
the
can
park.
see
Top
her
trump.
in a nice pair of pyjamas and with a boy, and they're looking all excited, putting the VHS in. That's how I imagine it was. Maybe
I
you get-
imagine her sort of forced into a small lamp.
Oh, yeah.
Really tight under the arms and just watch Aladdin. Oh, let me get me out. It's too tight. We'll have to saw it through, Steve. Was that what it was like?
Advert.
Okay.
I hope the advert's on YouTube. We'll find it.
Yes.
Oh yeah,
find
could be.
Absolute Radio.
Frank Skinner on Absolute Radio.
Now, we've heard from the outside world. We've had this from Suzanne. I've been eating raw potatoes since the 70s. Every time potatoes...
Is this through a medium?
Every time...
You said they were poison.
Yeah. I did. Well, she then... Yes, but she says every time... There's something that explains this. Every time potatoes are peeled, I have to do an extra one for my raw treat. And she's from Birmingham. So she's one of your people.
Ah, right.
So maybe in Birmingham it's just a tougher constitution.
They're just not poisonous to Birmingham.
Well, they're just made of sturdier stuff.
As Alan had just said to me during that song, of course, you used to eat raw sausages at home, which we did.
Yeah.
We used to squeeze them out the skin straight into our mouth, like when you eat, you know those frozen ice popsicle stick thing?
I don't...
Drain the last bit of meat out of the skin.
Stop it.
Yeah, I don't do that anymore, should I point out?
No. Yeah, if there's anybody of an impressionable age listening, don't eat raw sausages.
No, I don't think that. I don't. Well, it don't mean no, but I don't. Not recommending it. I think it. Let me just check. No, official absolute policy. Don't eat raw sausages.
Oh, good.
We've had another email in from Brett.
Oh no, that's graffiti. It's just graffiti on the book.
And the subject line is simply potato.
Okay.
No-e, well done, Brett. To stop potato getting hard at base, stand on 3 toothpicks.
Wow.
Hang on, you stand the potato on the toothpicks, not you.
Well, surely it would topple over.
No, you
it's like trying to stand Eddie Large on 3 toothpicks.
No,
it's not going to work.
No, what you would do, you'd make it like a milking stool.
Yeah.
Oh.
So you'd put them in
Would Eddie Large stand on the stool, milking stool?
I think he would, if there was a TV, if there was TV coverage. I think he'd stand on a flaming brazier. But I'm going to try that, because I've got, as you can imagine, I've got lots of toothpicks at home.
Why?
Well, because I pick my... it's one of my great joys, is getting stuff out from in between my teeth.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
So what I could do is I could use them, because only me's going to eat the potato.
Yeah.
In fact, what I could do is I could leave the meat on the end of the... on the end of the toothpick, and then put them in, and it would be like a sort of a meaty version of a chicken Kiev.
Bit of extra flavour on there.
Yeah.
Oh.
So the meat would... obviously, it's already
Frank,
cooked.
this is horrible.
You're right.
Really?
And when I take them out of the potato, they'll be sweet clean again. I can use them over and over. Maybe... Now I've discovered this, maybe I've got enough toothpicks to last me the rest of my life. What a morning it's been for revelations. I'm enjoying the conversation about Taylor Swift, by the way. Who'd have thought she's a woman who opens so many... She's like an advent calendar of conversation. You open one tiny door, next thing you know, you're putting meat-covered toothpicks into a potato.
Absolute Radio.
Frank Skinner on Absolute Radio.
This is Frank Skinner on Absolute Radio. I'm with Emily Dean and Alan Cockerel on this occasion. You can text the show on 8... Just a minute. That's to me housework. You can text the show on 8 12 15, which is a lot of people on. There's some gold coming in. You can follow the show on Twitter at Frank on the Radio, silver. Email the show via the Absolute Radio website, bronze. Thank you.
Just checking my emails to see if I'm still doing the show.
On
you
this
said
occasion?
Alan Cochrane on this occasion.
No, it is a man who's just had a month in France. A month on France,
Oui,
I
oui.
believe.
The old Duchess of York over there.
Yeah,
People
exactly.
are still asking me if I've dyed my hair blonde because the sun has hit
I did
it.
look at it today and I thought, he's so grumpy I won't ask him. But it really does. It does look like you've dyed it.
Got a touch of the Johnny Lee Miller in Trainspotting about it.
I think it's got a touch of the Shane Warne.
Oh,
yes,
that is not as good.
It has got a bit
I
of
like
that.
the way I said it. We've been running a text in, what have you got enough of for the rest of your life? And 557...
Yours is sonning.
Yeah, exactly.
Silver foils, which you secretly put on.
Oh, lovely. It looks great.
Jim has texted, bought what is effectively a bucket of French mustard on a trip to Dijon. If correctly refrigerated, I think this may outlive me.
Yeah, that could be right, because mustard's got a pretty good sell-by.
That's actually made me fancy
he's
mustard.
made a great
Delicious.
point there, because condiments, I mean, I'm sure I've got enough to last me my life of all these things.
We don't use them in the Catholic Church. There was a potato correction, wasn't there?
There was a potato correction. Mystery Dave.
PC.
Mystery Dave has tweeted us to say raw hashtag potato. Great use of hashtag. We've got potatoes trending. Raw hashtag.
What about corned beef hashtag potato?
Very good. Very
raw
good.
Hashtag potato is not poisonous. Green potato is poisonous, i.e. the stem and leaves of the potato plant. Thanks, Mystery Dave.
Oh, not those green patches that you get on potatoes. Doesn't mean that bit.
He doesn't specify.
You know when you get to the chip shop and you get one of your chips and it's one of those green or a black one? Yeah.
Is that what you say?
They're definitely not poisonous.
No. It's like my mum used to say to me that if you eat the yellow bit of a pomegranate, it's poisonous.
True or not true?
Yeah. What did you think was poisonous? 8, 12, 15.
That is the kind of thing that we're running today.
Troy has tweeted us.
Of course, if you swallow chewing gum, it sticks your insides up and you die.
Yes.
Oh.
Yes, we used to hear
I
that.
like the sound of that.
I used to imagine
Troy.
if you swallowed Hubba Bobba, you know that big bubble gum, if you...
I thought you were more of a Bazooka Joe fan.
If you swallowed Hubba Bobba and then you... Oh, this is too crude.
Oh.
Right.
Would you want to run it past us?
No, it's too crude.
During the break?
I think I know where.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
you can work
I think
it out.
was,
I can't.
You know. Well, picture bubbles, but yeah.
I still can't.
Okay, well, I'll tell you during... I don't want to... I just don't want to talk about it. I don't want to talk about it.
Should we clean it up a bit? Because Troy has tweeted us to say hashtag whatever happened
From Stingray? Sorry, Troy.
Where his equipment's gone, and it's actually in the studio here at Absolute Radio.
Oh,
Troy
there
says
is stuff that does look like the dashboard of Stingray in this studio.
Is that all radio
I asked
equipment?
Marina about it from Stingray, and she said she was a mute character.
She said no comment, I believe.
Yeah.
Troy says hashtag whatever happened to cat stuck up trees.
Yeah.
And then he said it happened to his cat this morning, and he's enclosed a lovely picture.
And did he phone the fire brigade?
Well, that's quite 70s, isn't it?
It is. When's the last time a firefighter got a cat out of a tree, would you say?
Yeah.
I don't think that happens anymore. I think they use knockout darts.
What do they do?
Yeah, but just a yo-yo.
What do they do with the cats
You get
up the tree now?
two kids holding a blanket underneath, knockout dart.
Cats aren't up trees anymore. They're inside making those gifts for the web.
They're probably all too fat now.
They're
aren't
looking
they, the cats?
online and
Oh.
things. They're all different now.
Yeah, you're
cats.
right.
They're
There's so much
sophisticated.
filming, cats. They don't, not up trees. You'll
got
find
time.
They're
They're
in
making
Winnebagos.
Yeah.
Frank Skinner.
On Absolute Radio.
Absolute Radio.
So we do need to talk about Taylor Swift at some point, don't we?
And Hiddleston,
Yeah.
indeed. They're over. It's done.
But before we do, 831 has texted us.
This is like at the end of Eric Morecambe, when the bloke used to come on with the harmonica and he'd say, not today, whatever his name was, Eric.
I know. Well, it's because our readers, to be fair, have been top draw this
They
morning.
have absolutely top form.
Respect.
Respectamundo.
Respectamundo to our readers this morning. 831 has texted us, sorry to say. We were talking about what we thought was poisonous.
What we used to think was poison.
What we used to
So
think
far
was
we've got potatoes for Emily, and for me, the yellow bit of
Yes.
a pomegranate.
And 439, I told my daughter that all black sweets are poisonous to kids. They can only be eaten by dads. That's from James.
That's very unkind.
I know. And
Good.
but 831...
It would have served him right if there'd been a poisonous one.
The 831 has got in touch to say, I used to think chow dogs' black tongues were poisonous. I was terrified in case they licked me.
Well,
I like the idea that someone would buy a pet that could kill you at any second.
with a poisonous tongue. I believe, by the way, that chows have got blue tongues, not black.
Yes, you're correct. They do have that.
Maybe the ones with the black tongues are the poisonous ones.
That's the old dads that have been eating the sweets. That's who's got black
That's
tongues.
what it is. That's why they're poisonous. They've been eating the poisonous black sweets. It all makes sense now.
Anyway,
The
Taylor
idea of a
Swift.
dog's tongue being poisonous, though. I used to... Sometimes my dog would sleep with his tongue slightly extended, maybe about half an inch out of his mouth.
Oh, who's that, Shep? Or the
Yeah,
other
and I
one?
just used to take a very gentle hold of it.
Do you know what?
It's great.
Frank, I feel a bit sorry for the other one, because Shep is the sort of Bros twins, I'm afraid, and the other dog in the Skinner household was a little bit like Craig from Bros. Because I don't even know his name.
No, that was Cal.
I know, but I always forget it.
Yeah, Shep was the character. But just gently hold the tip of the tongue. Lovely. Yes, Taylor Swift. So,
well, they're both claiming that they broke up with the other.
I hate it when that...
Quite an infantile way.
I haven't heard of that since like, the 70s in Birmingham. People saying, "Oh, I dumped him." No.
No, I dumped him.
I hope when you and Leslie Joseph break up that you're more mature in the media. That's what I'm hoping.
Well, I'll release information saying Leslie just couldn't handle him.
I think we can safely say till death us do part.
Yeah. Apparently Tom Hiddleston's got a 3-month rule, so
a 3-month rule? What does that mean?
3 months and then he gets bored of people, apparently.
Dear.
He's a commitment phobe. He gets bored after 3... Well, apparently we are... I mean...
No. Yeah. Maybe it's like the 5-second rule. If he drops them, and if he doesn't go out with them again within 3 months, they go off with someone else.
3 months is barely enough time to get a good row going.
I know, 3 months.
You know.
The trouble is, the first 3 months are trauma and insecurity.
Well, you say that, but not of this relationship, because within 1 month, he had a T-shirt with "I Heart Taylor Swift" on it.
Well, we don't know it was Taylor Swift. It said TS. Could have stood for anything.
Oh,
Tom Selleck.
Well, that would have been a whole other reason why she's dumped him.
Yeah.
He did seem to be growing a wispy moustache at the time, so maybe he was a bit of a Tom Selleck fan.
That's interesting, though. So what did it say? I love TS.
I heart TS.
Maybe. Do you think she bought that for him?
Yeah.
That's poor.
That is a poor gift.
Well, it's a bit... You've obviously got a lot of faith in your material, to use one of your tropes. I mean...
The trouble is, once you've got the T-shirt that says "I Heart TS," it's like every time you see it, you think, "Oh, I suppose I better wear the T-shirt." Because it's going to be that... You don't wear the T-shirt that much. What T-shirt's that? You know what T-shirt? Yeah, it's in the. So you do wear it then? Because I see pictures of you. You never seem to be. Oh, God, be a nightmare.
Yeah.
Timeshare.
I heart timeshare.
I think he loves timeshare. I've heard that about him.
He loves a timeshare.
He's got a place in Torremolinos. I was going to go, but he only had 2 weeks in October. It's not worth it.
This is
Frank Skinner, Absolute Radio.
Taylor Swift.
I'm still worried about the T-shirt, the "I Heart TS."
How are you?
Somebody
Why?
has suggested that it's "I Heart T-shirt."
Train set?
Oh,
Could be
that's a
train
good
set.
thing.
Yes.
I had a T-shirt specially made once, and on the chest it just said slogan.
Did you?
Yeah. And
It's quite good.
Yeah. But on the back of it, I had a picture of Steve Logan, the former bad boy wrestler. So if anyone pressed me on it, I'd say it's a reference to S. Logan.
Very good.
I mean, we got into quite a long conversation, and sometimes it got physical.
I was going to say, it's a
Did you use any
garment...
wrestling at that point?
It's a garment that requires a lot of backstory, though.
Yeah, it does.
I quite like that.
But if he was out, and I wouldn't...
Steve Logan?
No, I think...
Whoa.
Tom Hiddleston.
I mean, if he was out and about. If I saw Tom Hiddleston, I'm not at all confident I'd recognise him.
Really?
Well, he's not going to go to the places we go, Frank.
No, I know.
He lives, he's on the jets.
I doubt if he'll be at Aladdin.
Oh, do you know, I wish I was. Frank got quite shocked at my knowledge. I just burst into song.
Although Taylor Swift's always got Aladdin.
She does seem to have,
Yeah. But if you saw him and didn't know who he was, I'd be really... It'd annoy me, I Heart TS. I'd really want to know what it was. And
Oh, really?
Yeah, wouldn't you?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's just not very convincing yet.
No,
Yeah.
Okay.
but I mean, we don't really know that it is Taylor Swift, do we, the TS?
Well, Sarah, who works on this show, has a theory she's seen on the interweb BuzzFeed net
Yeah.
that it's all a hoax, an elaborate publicity stunt, and there's going to be a music video released soon.
Oh.
This is what Sarah
telling
thinks.
the whole story of the...
Which I think could have,
what
some credence.
Sarah thinks.
Frank!
Still doesn't answer the question of what's going to happen to the T-shirt. I feel like You know, the normal trajectory is when you've worn a T-shirt out and about, it then becomes a sport T-shirt, doesn't it?
He'll
And then
sleep in it.
Then sleep.
Well, it depends who he's with, I suppose.
Exactly, you can't wear it as a sleep T-shirt.
You can't wear that ever again with a lady.
Yeah, he's going to have to... It's just five-a-side now, isn't it? He'll have to just make it inside out.
But he can never... Oh,
no, he'll say
he might have to throw away a perfectly good T-shirt. Imagine that.
He'll come up with some story. They always do. It's a reference to T.S. Eliot, one of my great loves.
Yeah.
Maybe it says Eliot on the back of the T-shirt.
I could have that put on the back
that
of it.
would work.
I would write that with Sharpie quickly before the lady came round. And then he's all right.
Yeah, what's the chances of Tom Hiddleston having the physicals with a woman who knows who T.S. Eliot is? Absolutely out of the question.
This is
Frank Skinner, Absolute Radio.
411 suggesting that Tom and Taylor are big fans of Tommy Steele.
Oh, wow. Rock with the caveman. Yeah.
Half a
Once
sixpence.
upon a time there was a little white bull.
He does them all.
What about half a sixpence? Now that's a crack.
Half a sixpence. And that flashbang wallet, what a picture.
Oh,
What a
love that one.
Stick it in your family.
Album.
I hope they don't take that, stick it in your family and use that just as a trailer on its own. That's
Anyway, so it's
I was
all
going to
over.
say I had a letter from a guy called Stephen Hawkins.
You did?
Not him. And it said, "Here's a little gift for you." No, it's Stephen Hawkins.
Okay.
And he sent me a tiny Doctor Who jigsaw that he found in a little shop in the Lake District when camping, as he said. It's a message from my camp.
Oh, nice.
And he says afterwards you can use the tin as a sweetie box, and then in brackets, or for snuff. Oh, I haven't used snuff for many a long year and oft.
That's such a lovely gift.
Yeah. Could you say my name on the show in a Crazy Horses style so I can use it for my text message alert? You know what, Stephen? Also known as 677? I'm going to do that. Okay, so are you ready? Those of you who aren't familiar with this, you may remember Crazy Horses, the old Osmonds. I was adding H's where there were none.
Yeah.
Here we go then, Stephen Hawkins. Okay. Stephen. Oh, sorry.
That was terrible.
That was horrible. I seem to have contacted one of the... Troy has brought one of the aquamphibians from Stingray with him. Okay. I hope he doesn't bring Titan. That's... I know, we won't go in there. Okay, here we go. Stephen Hawkins. There you go.
Okay.
Another person, another happy punter.
Yeah. Done a housekeeping.
I absolutely love the total lack of bashfulness that you bring to this sometimes. When people
Why?
say, do this for me, you just go, yeah, all right. This
Sometimes you've got to help people.
brilliant. Brilliant. Some people could get really truculent, like, what, am I a monkey here to perform? But you don't. You just do it, don't you?
So, Taylor Swift.
In a way, I am a monkey here to perform.
I never thought of you as biddable, but it
Have you
turns out...
seen the colour on my backside? It's bright red.
In a way, we're all monkeys.
Yeah, we are. Well, we were monkeys, apparently.
I like that
don't
idea.
know if- I don't
I
know
love
if-
monkeys.
Do you know that we apparently
Is
we
that
were all
breaking
monkeys?
That's a
news.
controversial viewpoint.
Like
I don't
review?
know. Loch Ness news. We were once monkeys news.
Yeah,
You
speak for
guys are
yourself.
cutting edge today.
Speak for yourself, Darwin. What about that? If everyone had said, he'd made the big announcement and everybody, in a beautiful chorus, had gone, "You are." And he'd said, no, it's everyone. They go, no, it's just you. That's what it is. And he then said, oh, well, we might not be. Oh, no, too late. You've said it now.
I think you should copyright that phrase. It's so associated with you now. I find myself getting irritated when others use it. Back off.
What do they
You
use?
are.
You are. Oh, it's very
the right
infectious, though.
Well, it's the tone. He's got the tone bang on, you see.
Ah, yes.
Anyway.
It's all about tone selection, which I believe Tom Hiddleston loves.
Absolute Radio.
Frank Skinner on Absolute Radio.
What about this? What about this for a bit of comedy? So the Taylor Swift...
3 hours into the show.
Yeah, I thought I'd leave him a bit, give him a bit of a spoonful of sugar. Helps the microwave potato go down. So Tom Hiddleston, and Taylor Swift.
Yep.
Imagine I hadn't set it up. So, so Tom Hiddleston and Taylor Swift, Tom Hiddleston thing. I bet that was a low key affair.
Low key.
I bet that was a low key affair.
Low key.
I don't understand.
He played low key, you see, in Thor.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, no, Frank, that's not
happy with that.
Well, it's not that I'm not happy with it. It requires any joke that requires Googling is a problem.
Well, I think a lot of people know that he was low key.
You know, the other problem is that I heard low key, and key was a separate word, and I thought it was like some kind of music joke, like she sings in a low key.
What has this turned into? Review Frank's joke?
Yeah,
Okay.
that's exactly what it's turned into, isn't
It's
it?
comedy post-mortem. I think this is a TV show idea.
I think it was always going to turn into this when Frank said, hey, here's a bit of comedy for you.
Wow, I think they should do that in that Mock the Week show. You know when they have to step into the pit of doom and say,
Yeah.
is it? No, and they do a little joke.
Yeah.
I think the others should just sit there and comment on how they think it's gone.
Can I ask you a question about Mock the Week, which I've thought about?
Is it?
I don't know why you're looking at me.
Is it a pun on Mock the Week?
Yes.
As in W-E-A-K?
Yeah.
It is, okay.
I think so. Well, I don't know. I wasn't involved in the
What kind of-
naming process.
Quite an unkind pun.
But I was the warm-up man on the first couple of
Anyway,
series.
Taylor Swift, let's mock the
Quite an
purple.
unkind show in many ways.
In many ways.
Well, I think it's got nicer.
Absolute Radio.
Frank Skinner on Absolute Radio.
I tell you what I did like about Taylor Swift on a fashion point, if I may bring in our fashion correspondent for a second.
No, hi.
Oh, you.
No, your cars.
Oh, with your newly
I think
dyed
your cars
hair.
and money saving.
I'm still worried about what he's going to do with that T-shirt. I feel like it's not going to get its use.
What am I? A fashion and slightly strange childhood.
Well,
Okay. In a good way. In a lovely
in a good
way.
way.
Taylor Swift's fashion.
So, I'm very much liking, and I've seen a few of these about, but Taylor was featured in a pair this week. The leggings, the sort of sports leggings with a gauze inlay.
Yes, Frank.
Which gives you a sort of see-through panel. It reminds me of
Yeah.
the microwave experience.
It's a little modesty panel. Now,
Well, it's not. Is it modesty? I think it's a bit of a tease.
well, I'll tell you what it is. It's part of a whole new gen of leisure wear. Yes, I said that intentionally.
Yeah.
Called Sports Luxe.
Sports looks.
Okay, so
Yeah.
is that sport stroke luxury?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
What about the stroke? A bit creepy. But yeah, sports / luxe. That's exactly right, Frank.
No, I like-
So
I've
the
seen them
idea, it's
about.
upscale sportswear, and it's a little bit evening-y, a little bit cheeky. I love that.
I've seen a few of them about the gauze-panelled
Yeah.
Brigade.
legging. Let's call them the GPLs.
Well, when I was buying Kath her leggings, her workout pants, which
Oh,
I
yeah.
did recently for her birthday from Stella McCartney, I toyed with the gauze panel,
Yeah.
and I worried whether you'd be okay with it.
The only thing that would worry me about the gauze
Sounds like
panel...
you'd be more than okay with it.
Yeah, I wish I'd gone gauze.
I'd have loved it. But I find that women, I've seen a lot of men bare-legged in my time. Mm-hmm. And
Join the club.
yeah, and women seem to attract leg bruises in a way that men don't. They've always got bruises on them, women. Have you noticed that? On the sort of places like on the back
I'm really
of the
glad
calf.
this is the last link.
Yeah, okay.
Have you
Well,
noticed women's
No, I
legs
think
have got
that's true.
bruises?
I can say this. It's
8,
because we're
12, 15.
fleshier. We're fleshier, so
Oh,
we
is that
bruise
what it
more
is?
easily. Well, that's because you've got Shire horse, tough legs.
So on some of the GPLs I've seen, the gauze-panelled leggings, occasionally you can see the bruise within. Like sometimes, I don't know if you've ever looked at a dark cloud through trellis work.
Right.
And it's like that. You can see the dark shadow of it coming through the gauze
What have
window.
you seen it on? I mean,
Oh, but I see women walking around in the GPLs. Don't think. I mean, when I saw Taylor in them, I'd seen them about.
yeah, you've got to do a lot of what I call leg prep
Right.
if you're going to wear the gauze panel.
But where do
and
the
then you think, well,
bruises
you may
come-
as well wear the short.
Where did the bruises come from on women's legs? Why are they so?
Working out, The young gen like a workout.
Well,
we
there's
we
bruises
bruise
doing
more
that.
easily.
Is it also they wear less trousers? So
We
there's one
bruise a lot
layer
more
less
easily.
when
Trust me, I've
into
discovered
them.
that.
Yeah. And, of course, those little lap dogs, their tails are like little bull whips.
Celebrity ladies with their dogs, you mean?
Yeah. It's been a terrible week, hasn't it, for Tom? Because...
Why?
Because...
He looked
remember-
terrible as that Loki. Is it Loki? You made
Yes,
the joke that we
Loki.
didn't understand. The hair, I think she may have dumped him because the hair for that role, he looked awful.
he's a Norse god.
Oh, why has he dyed his hair psychic black then?
They had their
like
own-
someone on Brighton Pier.
Oh,
They
yeah.
had their own... Yeah, it is a bit...
Day out at Robin Hood's Bay.
It's a bit Nick Cave. But, the last time we spoke about Tom, the beginning of Hiddleswift,
Yeah.
do you remember he was a hot favourite for the James Bond job?
Not anymore.
Yeah,
And now this week they've offered Daniel Craig, they've offered him 150 million.
Double bubble, I think.
Well,
it's
that
called.
cleaner's going to be getting a nice tip.
Yeah.
This austerity thing, it's not right across the board, is it?
We're not all in this together,
No,
it turns out.
Anyway, so I think we've actually spoken about Taylor Swift and Tom Hiddleston for 3 hours
It does feel that way.
without ever really talking about them at all. It's a fabulous gift, like plaiting smoke.
Frank, can I just come to Aladdin? And what if they could have a spare seat
I've
for
only
me?
got 4 seats, though, I think. I might be able to get you in my lamp.
Oh, lovely.
Imagine that.
Yeah.
You can sit on my lamp.
Yeah.
Okay, so thanks very much for listening. And if the good Lord spares
We're
us...
still
and
on next week.
Yeah, we're still on next week. The good Lord spares us, and indeed the absolute authorities. We'll be back next week, and Creeks Don't Rise. This is an anagram of my usual sign-off.
Yeah.
You can put it together in post. And Robert Mugabe's on the telly. I hope
No, we're still on the radio.
yeah,
aren't we?
I hope
Yeah.
nothing's happened to him. Now get out.
The Frank Skinner Show on Absolute Radio. Back Saturday morning from 8. Tune in live for the full Frank experience.
Absolute Radio.